Hey friends, Ash here with Gents, and today I've got a confession for you guys. I'm an enormous fragrant shill. Actually, I'm not, but it makes an interesting title for a video, I guess. So, I got the idea for doing this because last night I was hanging out on a stream, or watching a stream, and there was this derpy guy in the comments of the stream saying that I'm a bought and paid for shill. In case you're unaware of what a shill is, that would be somebody that gets something for free or gets paid to do a review, and then they make it positive 100% of the time because they got paid or got it for free. But because that guy was kind of derpy and had no clue what he was talking about, it gave me an idea to do this video and talk to you guys today and give you a little peek behind the scenes of the channel. So let's jump into this. I'll keep this really short, but I think that guy is somebody that got blocked from my Facebook group over a year ago. There was somebody in there who was saying that I was an employee of Parfums Vintage. So apparently I have a stake in Parfums Vintage, and I'm part owner of the company or something. Never mind the fact that I've given negative reviews to Parfums Vintage fragrances on multiple occasions and said that there are lots of Parfums Vintage releases that I wouldn't buy because I think that they're too expensive or not that good. I mean, just pretend that doesn't exist, I guess. But yeah, this guy has a little tinfoil hat on, and that's what he thinks, even though he actually got kicked because he was just running his mouth a bit too much. So I guess in this video, I'll just talk to you guys about freebies again, and how that affects the channel and my views on it and stuff like that. Now, believe it or not, 99% of what I feature and review on my channel is stuff that I bought. So it's not freebies. I actually get far fewer freebies than you're probably thinking, and I'll talk about that more here in a second, but most of the time, assuming that I remember to do so, I tell you guys where I got a fragrance. So I'll say I bought this at retail at the local mall, or I bought this at a discounter. Usually I'll tell you guys where. If it's a new release, I might say that I bought it from Europe, which sometimes happens. I have to buy new releases and have them shipped over, which is really expensive, but guess what? That comes 100% out of my pocket. In actuality, brands don't send me stuff. It's extremely, and I mean extremely rare for a brand to send me something. A lot of times a brand might reach out and they might gauge my interest. Hey, do you want to review this? And if I do think it's interesting, which a lot of times I don't think it's interesting, and I don't show any interest at all, I'll say, hey, I'll review it, but understand that if I don't like it, I'm going to say so. I'll say that straight up in the email. And if they don't like that, they'll take a step back and they'll be like, no, that's okay, we'll work with other people. That's happened in the past and it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. I don't care about freebies. I really don't. They just kind of slow me down, because if I get a whole bunch of freebies in, then I'm going to be expected to review all of those freebies when I might actually want to be doing videos on other things, like what I'm doing right here. So I don't actually like them. A lot of times I go out of my way to not get them. And you may not believe that, but it's true, and I have the receipts or the emails to back that up. For example, and this is not a shot whatsoever, Aaron Terrence Hughes reached out to me in October of 2019 and offered his fragrances to me for free to review, and I didn't respond. And it's because I don't really want a bunch of freebies. I don't care for them. It doesn't change how I do the review or anything like that, but it just kind of makes it where I have to do videos that I might not want to do. And there are lots of smaller brands especially that reach out to me all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't mind that they reach out, it's just a lot of times I am too busy and I don't have any interest. Like Dossier Fragrances has reached out to me probably 15 times asking me to review their fragrances. And if it's something, again, that I don't think you guys would be interested in, then I don't accept it. And then, as I said a second ago, if I do think you'd be interested in it, I tell the brand that, hey, if I don't like this, I'm gonna let everybody know. And a lot of times that will make them take a step back. So while you may think that I'm getting just this constant flow of free stuff, that's not the case. Over the past 6 months, I've gotten these Ray and Tradition fragrances in that I did a first impression on and didn't like. So I mean, there you go, right there. I got freebies in and didn't say I liked them. I guess that, you know, it pokes holes again in that whole theory of everybody that gets something for free is automatically a shill, which is an absolutely goofy way of viewing things. I got in some Argos fragrances, and those look beautiful. They smell really nice, but they're inspired by fragrances. So I'm gonna talk about that once I get around to doing that video. When I went to Chicago, I got gifted a bottle of Zaharoff Signature by George Zaharoff, so I got that. Parfums Vintage sent me some fragrances, and I said that Pineapple Vintage Intense Gold was not worth it in my opinion over Pineapple Vintage Intense, that the markup in price wasn't warranted. And that's about it off the top of my head. So it's not a ton of stuff. It's something where maybe once every month, maybe once every month and a half, I'll actually get something in. Now, discounters will sometimes tell me, hey, you can pick out a few fragrances and we'll send those to you for a review. But with discounters, to me, it's completely different because a discounter doesn't care at all what you pick. They don't care what you review. They don't care if you say it's, you know, good, bad, or neutral or whatever. They just care that you say, I got this from this discounter. And the discounters that end up sending me things sometimes are the same discounters that I buy stuff from all the time. So if you want to get mad about that, I guess you can, but to me that's silly as well. And you can go through my channel and find lots of negative reviews that I've done on things that I got for free. Pineapple Vintage Intense Gold, again, I said not worth the price to me. Parfums Vintage Suave actually went up against La Nuit de l'Homme, a few different versions of La Nuit de l'Homme, and came in next to last place. Parfums de Marly Calan, did not like that at all. Ristretto Intense Cafe, didn't think very highly of that fragrance either. 24 Elixir Rise of the Superb, didn't like that one. Swiss Arabian Mood Maez, didn't think that was very good either. There are a lot of fragrances that I've gotten in where I'm just like, nah, this isn't good. As I've said a number of times, I don't care if it's free. It does not affect me whatsoever. I know there are still people out there, even after this video, that are gonna have conspiracy theories and be like, oh no, it's not true. It's not true, he gets everything for free. Which is completely goofy. I can show you how much I've spent over the past couple of years buying fragrances for reviews, and it's a stupid amount of money. The only place that I make money from this channel is going to be pre-roll ads, which is going to be those ads that are like 15-20 seconds before I do a video, where a company has said, hey, if you'll mention us for 15-20 seconds, we'll give you a little bit of money. Ad revenue from YouTube, and then affiliate links. So if you click the affiliate links and make purchases, then I get a little percentage back from that. So that's it, that right there. And as far as those ads go, I actually turned down a ton of ads because I think that they wouldn't be good for you guys. I think that they wouldn't be interesting for you, and so I turned them down. I wrote down a couple of them right here just over the past 2 weeks from filming this video. I've gotten a $1,000 offer for a pre-roll. That was on the 18th, but it was something that I didn't think would be interesting to you guys. A website called Gift Express wanted me to do an ad for them. Scentbird reached out. They offered $1,000 for a video. VGenius offered $700 for a video. Buzzbreak offered $500 for a video. And when I say for a video, I don't mean a dedicated video, I just mean a pre-roll. But I turned all of those down because I don't think they're interesting for you guys. So I mean, if I was wanting to do, I could have just pre-rolls falling out of the sky, just non-stop with these stupid ads. But I only do ones that I think are more interesting. So there we go. I mean, right there, that's like, what is that? almost $4,000 in the past 2 weeks. So actually that's a lot of money. Maybe I should rethink this. Yeah, you're about to see ads, pre-rolls, shot by yours truly on every video I do. I've actually given serious thought, very serious thought, to just turning down literally everything, just accepting not a single thing for review, and then kind of going from there. And it really wouldn't affect the channel because, like I said, almost everything that I feature nowadays is stuff that I've purchased myself. And even when I do get something sent to me, like again these Ray and Tradition ones, I'm picking these up because they're just sitting right in front of me here, so it's easier than getting up and getting something else for an example. But these Ray and Tradition ones, you know, I got these in and didn't pay a penny for them and still said that it's a no-go. And I explained why, the reasons that I didn't think they were good. And that's what I always try to do. Even if a fragrance is free, then I'll try to tell you the pros and the cons of each fragrance when I do a review. Some people expect me to go in here just guns blazing and say either, oh, I love everything about this fragrance, or I hate literally everything about this fragrance, but that's not how I view them. I think there are pros and cons to pretty much every fragrance out there, outside of Armaf Craze Fresh, which is Windex. But you can find good in almost every fragrance. And so I'll try to present that when I do a review. The good parts and the bad parts. Sometimes the good parts outweigh the bad parts, and sometimes the bad parts outweigh the good parts. But I try to tell you all of that, you know, my full opinion, because sometimes a fragrance might have an awesome opening and then just be trash after that. Or sometimes a fragrance might smell pretty bad in the opening, but then once it dries down, it smells really nice. And so there's a lot of gray area with these reviews. It's not always cut and dry, oh, the entire thing sucks. A lot of times there's good parts too. So I think for a lot of these people who like to just go around and watch maybe 1 or 2 videos and then say, oh, you're a shill, they don't view it that way. And they want everything to be black or white, and that's just not how it is. And another thing that these people will do sometimes, people that are very adamant about throwing that out there, is they'll ignore everything you say that doesn't go along with whatever their preconceived notion is. So for example, if they decide you're a shill, right? And then I talk about 4 fragrances, and then I say, well, 3 of these are really bad. I don't like them, but this one is very nice and I do like it. They'll ignore all the bad stuff I said about the 3 fragrances and be like, well, that doesn't jive with my whole shill theory, so let me ignore that. But then when you hold up the one and you say, well, I do really like this one, they'll be like, I knew it. That dude's a paid shill. So to me, it's funny more than anything because I know where I stand and I know that there's nothing that can possibly be produced saying you accepted this for a positive review or whatever, because it doesn't exist, period. So it's pretty easy for me to put this out there because there's nothing that you can produce that says otherwise. Because, again, it doesn't exist. I review things and tell you what I think about them, and whether that burns a bridge here or there really is irrelevant to me, because what's important is you guys, and if you tune in and you subscribe, then that is success for me. The brands, I don't really care. There are lots of brands out there, and even if they don't want to send me something, if I really want something, I can still buy it, so I don't care. I'll burn a bridge with a brand if I have to. If I think something sucks, then I'll let you guys know. It doesn't matter to me, because you guys are what make the channel successful. It's not the brands. And I think sometimes some people get that twisted and view it the other way around, that the brands are what's most important and subscribers come second. I don't think that at all. For me, it's subscribers come first, always. Brands come second. There's never Never ever been a doubt for me about that. Because the truth of the matter is, if I BS you guys, and I hype up something that's trash, and a whole bunch of you go out there and buy it up, waste your money on it, and you realize that I BS'd you to further myself, you're not going to trust me. And at that point, I've blown my own foot off. That's stupid. So I would never do that. That's my whole train of thought. That's why when I go into this, if something sucks, if I'm reviewing something, first impression, whatever, even if I know it's going to make the brand angry, I just suck it up. And it's like, well, oh well. And just to be clear, guys, I'm not saying you'll never see a pre-roll ad on this channel again. I might do one. If I think it's a company that's cool, that might be interesting to you guys, then I'll do that. But if it's something like Scentbird, where I've already said that I don't trust them whatsoever, and they're offering me $1,000 to go back and change what I said in the past, that's not gonna happen, obviously. So I'm not gonna work with these companies, but if a cool company reaches out, and it's something, again, I think you guys would be interested in, you might see a pre-roll, but that's not me selling you out. A pre-roll, to me, is the preferable way to go. Because, like, let's say Dollar Shave Club. I've never spoken to them, but let's say they reach out. If I do 15 seconds saying, hey guys, Dollar Shave Club, then that means I get the advertising revenue from that, which I can then put into more bottles because I spend a lot on these freaking bottles, especially the new ones, and it doesn't affect anything on the channel whatsoever. Now, on the flip side, let's say Parfums de Marly or Bond Number 9 or whoever reaches out to me and they say, hey, we're gonna give you $1,000 and we want you to talk about how awesome Cologne is, or how awesome Shea Bond is, or something like that. At that point, even if the revenue is the same, Dollar Shave Club, Parfums de Marly, Bond Number 9, whatever, the effect is completely different. Because with Dollar Shave Club, or again, whatever, you're getting the money, but it has zero effect on what you say about the fragrances. The other hand, if you're getting paid by a fragrance brand, then it has 100% effect on what you're saying. So if you see a pre-roll ad, don't get all pissed off about it. There's a reason for it. And that's all I've got to say. Kind of a rambly video, ran long, but whatever. I just thought it would be kind of fun to talk about and give you guys a look behind the scenes about some of the stuff that I hear, stuff that I see, and stuff that I know happens with my channel, specifically with the emails that I get coming in on a daily basis. So I appreciate all of your guys' support. Couldn't do this without you, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.